New Thought Media Network. We are a global broadcast network of positive music, media, and entertainment, inspiring humanity's evolution along the journey of enlightenment and creating a world of love, peace, empowerment, and prosperity for all. New Thought Media Network. Positively inspiring. We invite you to join our prayer broadcast every day at 8:15 a.m. and 8:15 p.m. Mountain Time. Send us your prayer requests or schedule a private prayer session by emailing prayer@ntmedia.org. And now, it's time to pray together.
Hello, folks. Welcome to morning prayer for Wednesday, December 31st, 2025. My name is Muro. I'm a prayer practitioner here on the New Thought Media Network, and I am honored and delighted to spend one last time this year with you in prayer. Wow, end of the year. It's been a long year. So if there is anything that you would like prayer for, by all means, please do remember, send us a prayer request here at www.ntmedia.org/prayer, because we love to pray. And you can also, this is really important, you can also get a prayer session with a minister or a practitioner, which will allow you to really dig in deep into your intention. So whatever works best for you. Now, given that this is the end of the year, although for some of you, depending on where you are in the world, it might already be the new year. But for those of us here in the Western Hemisphere, or the Northern Hemisphere, I guess it would be. Yeah, Northern. I don't know. One of those hemispheres. For those of you who are sitting here today and saying, okay, here we are, end of the year. What is it that I want to do? Well, a very common thing that we've seen are many different rituals at the end of the year that people will use. And they're all around the idea of release. So there's burning bowl, and there's writing something down on a piece of paper and just tearing it up. I've seen people put things into little boats and float them down a river. All different methods that people have to release things. So I wanted to share these quotes with you. The interesting thing about these quotes is that I have no author for any of them. But they're all interesting. They all suit and fit the moment. So, simple one. Let go to make room for the new. I release what no longer serves me and welcome new possibilities. And my absolute favorite, the past is a place of reference, not a place of residence. I really like that one. So, as we end this year, even though the idea of this year depends upon your society, it depends upon many different things, because there are so many different times during the year that people consider this to be a new year. But using our standard calendar, looking at this as the end of the year, what is it that you want to release? Think about what it is that no longer serves you. Think about what you do need to let go of so that you can make room. What is it in the past that you want to leave in the past? Okay. Not forgetting about it necessarily, because the idea of using it as a place of reference is very important. Right. But what is it that is limiting you? What is holding you back? Right. So think about that, take that into prayer, and consciously consider what that is. If at all possible, write it down. Because tomorrow, when we pray together, we'll take this to the next step. So, for now, let's focus on this moment. Let's be fully present. Let's allow ourselves to put away any distractions, put away any thoughts of what came before, what comes after, with the one idea of release, the idea of letting go. And so as I settle myself into this moment, while I am indeed considering what I will release, I start with something that is always a part of me, always will be a part of me, and that is my divinity, my association with the One. And it's not simply something that is a connection. It is not simply something that adheres one to the other. It is a unity. And so, looking at my very existence as being part of the One, I start with this firm foundation. I start with this unchanging, uncorruptible, perfect, whole, and complete sense of self. Capital S, self. Because this is the self that is imbued with the birthright of being the beloved of the beloved. That is always, always present, always true, always operating within my spirit. And so as I settle into that knowing, as I allow myself to feel the strength of that knowing, I know that within that strength there is also compassion. Because the energy with which I was created, the energy with which each of us was created, is the energy of love. And love cannot object. Love cannot judge. Love accepts. Love fortifies. Love is indeed compassionate. And so as I approach this idea of release, releasing those things which no longer serve, releasing those things which I have come to understand as being falsehoods, and recognizing that the truth is where my freedom lies, not in holding on to some bias, not holding on to some falsehood that limits me. Knowing that, I give myself permission not to beat myself and say, oh, what a terrible thing I had done, what a terrible way I had lived. No. I look at anything and everything that has gone on in my life, and I look to it to see what it is that is important for me to glean from it, and the rest I leave behind. The rest I release. And in doing so, I hold myself in compassion, in love. I recognize that each step I take, regardless of the direction, provides something of value. Even if it's the recognition that that is not a step I want to take again. It is something that I have learned, something that I have been able to grow from. And so today, as I consider those things that I wish to release, I also recognize that they brought something to me. They gave something to me. If I was willing to understand them, if I was willing to explore them, if I was willing to learn from them. And so today, as I sit here at what is nominally the end of my year, I recognize that I release those things which have held me back. I release those things which minimize the truth of who and whose I am. I release those things which cause me to disconnect from the flow of love and energy. Not because I can literally do that, but because it appears that way to me. I can forget. I can even refuse. But the reality is that the flow of love is always present. The reality is that the wholeness, the perfection, the completeness of who and whose I am is always present within me. And so as I recognize that, and I see those things in my human life, which have become burdensome, which have become obstructions, I see this invitation to work my way through them. I see this invitation to ascend beyond them. I work my way through them. And I recognize that at all times, I have the love and the support of the One. This is not something that I do alone. That is not something I do in isolation. This is not something that I do without the help, the love, the compassion, the strength of the One. And of course, the wisdom. And so, as I consider what I will release, I also consider all of these gifts that are part of my birthright. And I see possibilities, and I see hope, and I see goodness, and I see beauty. So I am not simply closing the door on the past. I am allowing myself to step forward. I am allowing myself to prepare. I'm allowing myself to hold on to those things which do serve, which do provide a benefit, which do provide something of value, so that I can indeed move forward, that I can indeed grow, explore, learn, become more fully who and whose I am. And that is why I release those things that do not serve me, because there's only so much energy, there's only so much time. I want to use it all in a way that benefits my life experience and the life experience of all. So it is in that understanding, in that knowledge, in that confidence that I release this word to the law which always says yes. I can joyfully and thankfully say, and so it is. I release what no longer serves me and welcome new possibilities. Apparently, I had a lot to say. What can I tell you? I open my heart, I open my mind, I open my spirit. I wish each of you a glorious end to 2025 and a glorious beginning to 2026. So, for those of you who are available, I will see you tomorrow. Or if you prefer, I'll see you next year. However you look at it, please know that you are loved and you are loved. Namaste.
On behalf of everyone at New Thought Media Network, thank you for being a member of our virtual family. Your financial contributions help share the New Thought message with people from around the world. Please visit and contribute at www.ntmedia.org/donate. New Thought Media Network. Come be you. And please like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, peace and blessings. On behalf of the New Thought Media Network, thank you for being with us for this special prayer broadcast. We look forward to being with you again soon, 8:15 a.m. or 8:15 p.m. Mountain Time. Until then.